right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SQL Saturdays again. We are currently hosting session number 12 today, and we're going to be talking about joins today. So I'm going to just give people a couple seconds to tune in. Thanks for joining us. And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on for all things all about the data. All right, guys. So for today, I will be your host. I'm the education coordinator for All About the Data. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. But I'm an inspired data scientist. I currently work for a LIMS. I'm currently work for a LIMS software company as a consultant. And in my free time, I enjoy traveling, cooking, and reading. Today, as our instructor, we have Amaka. She loves swimming and watching movies for relaxation, and she is going to be going over joins today, which I know is something that a lot of people request, something that people that are new to SQL kind of struggle with a little bit. I know I struggled to grasp joins when I first started learning SQL, so definitely excited to have her go over joins for us today. So Amaka, whenever you are ready, you can go ahead and take over and start the show. You guys should be able
All
to
right.
access the Google Slides. It has all the links that we'll be using today in there as well. And I'll go ahead and pin it.
Hi, I'm Chiamaka. and I'll be taking you on joins today. I'll be taking you on six different types of joins: left join, right join, full outer join. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Okay. Okay, so I'll be teaching you joins today. I'll use SQLite online for it, and I'm going to be using PostgreSQL. So if you don't have this, you can just browse www.sqliteonline.com to get this. I'll just give you like 30 seconds to do that. Okay, and the data set I'll be using is on the link. It's on the slide already, which has already been shared. So you can just click on the link and download the data set to use. Okay, so let's go back here. So, okay, let me go to Postgres. Now, these are the tables. These are the tables in the data sets. We have the categories table, the customers table, we have employees, orders, products, region, shippers, suppliers, different tables here. But the one I'm going to be using most often will be the customers table, and I'll also be using the orders table. So let's just preview the customers table. So it has these are the columns in the customers table. It has the customer name, the customer ID, contact name, and different other columns here. And for the orders table, we have the order ID, customer ID, employee ID, order date. You can have a different table, different columns in this table. So let's just start. So first of all, I'm going to preview the data set. I'll preview the data set so we can use. So this select now is to select the columns we want to see, like the columns we want to get from the data set. The select is used to get those columns, and then from tells Postgres where you're going to get those columns from. That's the table exactly you're going to get these columns from. So let me just run this and you can preview. Yes. So this is the data set. It's running. Let's preview orders now. I just like to do this because I like seeing what I'm working with. So let's run this one and yes, training. So now we have these two tables. Let me delete this. We have these two tables now. These are the tables we're going to work with. So let's start. I'll start. Let me just explain. Let me just give you a rundown of what I'm going to be doing today. I I'm going to teach you about SQL joins. We're going to talk about the inner join, the left join, the right join, the full outer join, the cross join, and the natural join. So let me talk about inner join a little bit. Inner join, it used to return all matching records from the left table and the right table. So I think of it as something that balances this table out. It just brings out roles that are common between the first table, and the second one. It doesn't give priority to any table. It offers them equal priority. It just brings out the matched rules. So if this is the first table and this is the second table, it's just brings out the matched rules, just like an intersection if you've done any sets. So this is the syntax for it. And let me just do one example so you can see how it works. Then we go back to the next one. So we're going to write down select. So after writing the select, we choose the column names, like the columns we want to display. So let's go to the customer table and see what we have here. So okay, so customer company name too. So we would want to look at maybe let's say the city. Um, for the others now, let's bring out some columns for that. I don't want to use asterisks. If I should use asterisks here, it's going to bring out all the columns in the both tables. And if we do that, we're going to have lots and lots of columns here. You'll not be able to understand what I'm doing. So let's just select few columns that we're going to bring out so we can understand, so we can easily see the data set we're going to bring. All right, so I'm going to bring out the order date. Okay, and if you notice here, hmm, you would see that the orders table has customer ID, and the customers table also has customer ID. So Postgres is going to be very confused about what you're looking like. Where are we going to get this customer ID from? Are we getting it from the customer table, or are we getting it from the others table. So you're going to get an error if you should run this stuff. Like if we should finish writing this code and then run it, there's going to be an error here. So what we have to do is we're going to have to identify, we're going to have to tell Postgres the particular table we're going to get this thing from. So we do that by writing the table name or then with a dot, then the column. So now what this means is we're telling Postgres, get the customer ID from the customer's table. All these other ones we didn't have to specify it because there were no they are not the second table doesn't have that same. So if it just sees company name, you know the other table doesn't have company name. So it just knows that okay, it's definitely going to be from the customer table because only the customer table has company name. City, only the customer table has city. So it knows that it's from the customer table. But customer ID, because it's in both tables, it's going to get confused and that's why we have to put these customers here. So let's just pick one more because I like number five. I like five. I like having five columns. So let's see from the other table. Let me pick out one more from the other table. Um, Ship address should be fine. Okay. So now we've picked out the columns we want to display. So now the next one is from. From the um, is to tell Postgres where you want to get these columns from. What's the table name? Because you're not going to pull out these columns from the team air. You're going to get it from a particular table. So you're going to tell Postgres, okay, this all these columns, I want to get it from this particular table. So you're going to now write the table, and then I'm going to choose customers as my table. So now here is where the real work is. I'm trying to join customer table to um we're trying to join customers table to others table and we're trying to do an inner join. So we write inner join here. Tell Postgres that okay, we're doing an inner join. So now it will now ask what table are you joining to the customers table. So you will now write the table, which is the others table. Now if you should run this, you're going to get an error. Let me just run it so you see first. This is for mistakes. Okay, so we got an error. So now, why we got these errors? Because Postgres doesn't know the columns we want to join. How we want to merge these two tables together. But Postgres doesn't understand, doesn't know which column we want to use to merge these two tables together with bits. So we're going to have to identify the columns that we're doing now we're going to merge these two tables with. So we're going to use the on clause. The on clause is going to tell Postgres the columns we're going to use to merge these two tables with. So we're going to do this customer dot customer order. Now so this now tells Postgres that this is the two columns we want to use to join. We want to join the customer, we want to use the customer ID from the customer's table. We want to join it with the customer ID from the orders table. So that's what this code here does. So it just tells Postgres what the columns we're going to use to merge it. Let me just recap a little bit. Select is going to help choose the columns we want to display. We use customers or customer ID here because there's a customer ID in the formal table and the customer ID. There's a customer ID in the customers table and there's a customer ID in the other table. So we have to specify which table we want to display this customer ID from. If you don't put this here, you're going to get an error because Postgres will not understand where you're getting the column from. So that's why we do this. From is just to tell them, okay, we're getting it from the customers table. Then inner join to now specify the column, the particular, sorry, the table we're joining to the customer table. On will now help tell, okay, we're doing this from customer ID. We're going to join this thing based on the customer ID from the customer's table and then the other ID, the customer ID from the other table. So if you should run this, it should run, and it's just that simple. And join is very so yeah, so that's inner join. So let me explain what left join is right here. Okay, so we're done with the inner join now, left join. So what this left join is going to do now is the left join returns all record from the left table and matching records from the right table. What this means is it's going to bring out every like it's going to place more priority on the left table and less priority on the right table. So it's going to bring out all the all the records from the left table. That's the rows. It's going to be if there's 503 rows in the left table, you should see 503 rows when you do a left join, I think. Okay, yes, that's you should see 503 rows when you do a left join. But then when it comes to the right table, it's only going to pick out the matching column, the matching records. It's not going to bring out everything from this. So if you have 20 records in the left table, and then we have 50 records in the right table, sequential like 1 to 20 and then 1 to 50. It's going to bring out 20 records because the table of priority is the left table, not the right table. It's only going to bring out records that match that 20, that important ones. It's only going to bring out records that match it. And that's how left join works. It places priority on one, unlike inner join that gives equal priority to the both tables. Left join will place priority on just one, which is the left table, which is table one. So let me write a short code. I'm just going to copy this thing because I think make comment here. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and paste this and just change something so I won't waste too much time. So what the hell? So so we're going to write left. So we're going to write left here. I'll explain all this very soon, I promise. Okay, this should see you can use any but you can try this out with any you can try this thing out with any table at all here. Just want to use the customers and the others table because to be faster. So so what this does now is it places priority on this customer's table, not the others table. It's going to place priority on the customer's table because the table we put after the from, see this line here, the table we put after this from is going to be the table of priority. It's going to be this table here, this one shaded thing. It's going to be this one. So the table, that's why you have to be very, very careful when you do a left join. It's not like inner join. In inner joins, you can just switch. You can switch this thing here now. You can put others here and then customers here, and you're going to get the same thing. But if you should try it here, you're going to get something entirely different. So what you're going to do, just ask yourself, which table do you want to prioritize? Which table do you want which table is more important? Which table is of more importance to you? So you put it after the from, and then the table of less importance is the one you put after the left join. I hope that makes sense. It should make sense. So that's it. So the same thing. Select is going to select the columns you want to display. I want to display the customer. Okay, so let me just change this right now. You can see that you can do this. So right now I'm picking the customer ID from the others table. Right here, I pick the customer ID from the company. I want to pick the customer ID from the others table. So I'm picking this, I'm picking the company name, I'm picking the city, the order date, and the ship address. Then I'm picking it from the customer table, my table of priority, and then I'm joining it with the others table. I'm doing a left join and I'm using these two IDs. I'm joining it with these two IDs. So this should run. Let me run this now. See, and this is very important. This is, please just note that the placement is very, very important when you're doing a left join. If you put custom, if you swap these two things, you're not going to get the result you want. You have to put it where it's supposed to be. You put the one, the table you want to, the table of more importance in the front table, and then the other one in the left join. So now let's go to right join. So right join is the opposite of left join. Let me show you. Okay, so right join returns all records from the right table and matching records from the left table. This is the syntax. I'll show you very soon. And this, it just does the opposite of the right of the left join. It places more importance to the right table and less importance to the left table. It just brings out the matching records. That's this space here. Sorry, let me zoom out. Okay, so it just brings out it just brings out um so it just brings out the most important one, the all the records from the most important table, that's this right table, and then the matching records from this left table. Does the opposite of this other one. Okay. So let me go to SQL and show you how it's done. Let me write this one down. So I need to select the same rows. Then from basically doing the same thing, but let me just try it from now. The column you put here, mm, if you put customers here, you're giving less priority to the customers table. I'll just copy this. I'm sorry. Just going to copy this and change this to right join. See, it's basically the same thing like with it, right? So it places more priority on the orders table and less priority on the customers table. That's the difference between left join and right join. Left join is going to place more priority on the table you write after the from. That's why there's going to be more priority. And then the table after the join is going to have the less priority. But in right joins, the table after the from has less priority. This one has more, this one has less. The table after the from has less priority, and the table after the join has more priority. If I want the others table now to have more priority than the customer table, I'm just going to come here and switch it up. I'll just try others here, and I will try customer table. So this thing now, this and this code and this one, they are both the same thing now because we've already switched the position of these two tables. This in this what do you call it? This code, the customers table has more priority than the others table because of where it is. In this one, others has less priority. The customer still has more priority than the others table because of the way we put it. If you put the others here, it will have more priority. And let me just run this. Um, okay, so this is how. Only difference between these two is where how you place the tables. If you place the customer tables here on the left join, it's going to have more priority. If you place it here, it will have less priority. So most people just use left join and just change the change where they put the table names. It should basically give you the same thing. I should tweak this to give me a right join. The next join we're going to look at is sorry, okay. The next join we're going to look at is the full outer join. What this full outer join does is it gives you everything, all the records from the left table, all the records from the right table, and all the matching records. It's going to give you every single thing. Everything is going to come out on the output. It does not place priority on the left table. It doesn't place priority on the right table. It's equal priority, just like the inner join, but the inner join gives the inter brings out just the intersection. This one brings out every single thing. So let me just write a simple code on it so we can see it's almost the same thing with the left join and the right join. It's literally what is the difference? Just let me write full outer join. And this thing I do here is just to comment. When you put double slash and then you write something, you're just commenting. That's for a single line. If you want to comment using more than one line, I think you put something like this. So you can now comment more than one line. I'll just copy this. I won't waste much. So full. We just change this. I'll explain what I'm doing first. So, okay. So now this is the syntax of full outer join. What this does, it just joins the two tables. Just join the two tables together. It doesn't place priority on anyone. It's not like the right join or the left join. It places priority on both of them equally, and this gives you an output. So I know you can't really see. Let me try something else. Let me try other tables so let's see something different at least. Okay, this asterisk is to choose all, it to display all the columns. If you don't want to specify which columns you want to, if you want to display all the columns, you just use asterisk. So let's use I'm going to use this one because the let me check something. Okay, order ID. Order ID. Okay, so I'm going to use the orders table and the order details. I like writing my columns with small letters. Order underscore details. Let me run this. Okay, no, I can't run this because I'm going to use the order ID to join these two things together. So it's going to be order, and I'll join it to this one here. the other ID on the details, on the other details. I'll explain it again. Give me 1 second, I'll explain it. It's going to take it this long. Other details. Okay. I need to use why? Um, use price. Okay, we can use to parameters. Okay, we can use to parameters. Let me look for another one. Okay, let me use a one. We can't use two parameters to draw. So let me use this table, this others table, and this one. Okay, so for the okay, columns are too much, but we ran. What happened was that I was trying to use two primary keys. I was trying to join with two primary keys, and it wasn't working. So I just changed the tables that I use. This was what I was avoiding when I was, what do you call it, specifying the columns I want to display. Because now it's just too much, and you can't really see all these things. Yeah. So I'm so sorry about this and the delay. So what this does is it just joins the whole table together. It doesn't give priority to any table. It just joins the two tables together. And you have to specify the columns you use to join it. And please don't make mistake like me. You don't use two primary keys. Primary keys. Now let's go to the next next type of join, which is the cross join. I don't know why for some reason this has been my best join. I mean, I like inner join, left join, and rest. But then this, I just enjoy this because the syntax is just so simple and everything, and you don't need to specify any column. In fact, there doesn't have to be a matching column, so it just joins the two tables together. So let's do it. So cross join, it returns all record from the left table and the right table. You don't have to specify any matching column or anything like that. It just returns everything, just merges them together and brings out output. So let me show you the syntax first. I'm going to write it down here. So I'm going to still use the customers and others table because the last time I tried to do that, I wasted a lot of time for customer. Cross join. Then I'll join it with the okay. Let's just choose anything. Yeah, let's use employees. That's all. We don't need to. Okay, it's going to give you an error again. Why do I want? Let me bring out the title and let's see address. Let me try this, and I'll explain to you from. Oh, sorry. October. Let me run this. See. Okay. Always. I'll explain all this to you and promise. It's okay to have errors. You know, everyone has errors. Okay, let me write employees. So I didn't really check this. Sorry. It's fine to have errors. Errors, it's normal and valid. Okay, so you ran. Thank God. Okay, what happened was apparently the both tables had city column, they had address column, and I made a mistake. So I didn't change it from orders or customer ID to customers or customer ID. That's why I had too many errors. But nonetheless, this is how it's supposed to be. Please. It just joins the table, what do you call it? The two tables together. You don't need to specify any on. You don't need to do all that. It will join it for you. They don't even have to be something to match. You don't need to have anything to match. You don't need to have. You don't need to match any of. You don't need to add any matching thing at all. You don't need to specify any all at all. You just do it straight away and it wins. So yes, and this is me telling you that if you run through errors when you're coding or when you're doing anything, do not beat yourself. It is normal. It happens to the best of like the best of us. It happens to everybody. So and this is me trying to comfort myself because so much errors. Anyway, let's go to the next one. And I think it's the last one for today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the last one here, which is the natural join. Okay, so this natural join, it's like the mother of all joins. Yes, the mother of all joins. It creates an implicit join based on the colon names. I think and this is an error. So it can be inner join, left join, or right join. The syntax is very, very simple. You don't need the on clause in natural joins too. So what this natural join does is that it goes and check the two tables. What's that matching columns? Like what columns match the two tables? And it's just going to join it with those columns. You don't need to specify it, it will do the work for you. It will go and then someone will ask now, like, what's now the difference between doing this and doing inner join? The difference between the two of them is that if there are like two matching columns each in the both tables and you want to specify the particular column that you want to join these two tables based on, you would most likely you should use the inner join and specify it. But then if it's just you just have one matching column, like you have what they call it, country ID in table one and then country ID in table two. There are no other matching. You can just do it. You can just use natural join because it will do everything for you. You don't need to you don't need to write the on and all of that. You don't need any of that thing. You just have to just write it down and then to do everything for you. So let's write it so that I'll show you. So you can do inner join, you can do left join, and you can do outer join. You can do these three joins using the natural join. So I'm going to show you how to do the three of them real quick, very, very fast. I will not waste your time. I won't. I promise. I'll try my best not to waste your time. So select. Let's use this same thing. Let's be on the safe side and let's for me. I'll just try out different columns, different tables here, and run through errors with you guys. But let's no, let's do it. Let's just do it. So I'm going to use customers and others table again because hey, I was about to make a mistake now. Let me just select this thing and paste it here. Okay, so let me natural join. Ask a comment. Let's put a comment here. So okay, so now we don't need all of this by we will not miss you. We don't need all of this. All we just need to do is just write natural here. It's natural. Sorry, that would be lame. Okay, so this is basically it. It's going to do everything for you. You don't need to specify the columns you want to merge this to. Then I want to change this to customers to customer ID because I want to. I have it. So I'll just do this. And let me run this. If there's an error, I'll run away from here. Okay, there's no error. Thank God. So okay, so that's it. You don't need to add anything. So this, if you, okay, let me run the inner join now, so you see something. Just look at this for like 5 minutes. Just no, let me just leave this here. Okay, just look at this for like 5 minutes. Note the other date. Come on, let me run this or not. Let me go back to my natural join. Thank you. Very- Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this natural join, it's automatically if you don't put anything, like if you don't specify if you want to do an inner join, left join or right join, natural join is going to assume that what you're doing is an inner join. But if you want to do left join, you have to write left here. All right, this should run. Okay, thank God. Yes, if you want to do a left join, you have to specify that it's a left join you're doing. If you want to do a right join, you specify that it's a right join you're doing. No, let's do this thing. Look at this first one. Just look at this date. 1996 07 04. I did a right join, right? Well, let's see. We did the same thing here. So let me run this thing so let's see. 1996, remember? Please run. See. I said it's the same thing. It does the same thing. And you don't need all this. You don't need this whole thing. You don't need any of it. So that's why I call natural joins the mother of all joins because it does everything you want and with little of you don't need to do much and then to do it for you. So I think we have come to the end. Any questions? If you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section. I will be there to answer the best I can. Thank you. so much. So this is it. We covered left inner join, left join, right join, outer join, cross join, and natural joins. I'm sorry for all the errors. No, I'm not sorry actually. It's normal, it's natural. And that will be it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Gemma. I think you did an amazing job. And personally, I like running into errors when running SQL queries. I think that is the best way to learn. And like you said, don't be afraid of them. It happens to the best of us. You will run into errors inevitably. So it's just all about how you address it. You look at it, you see what you did wrong, you learn from it, and you correct it. So amazing job. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. Hold on one second. If you want to connect with Gemma on LinkedIn, or follow her on Twitter, her information is right here on this slide, as well as mine if you'd like to connect with me. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments and we can address them later, or you can connect with Gemma on LinkedIn and ask her yourself. Um, Thanks again for joining us today. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on for all things all about the data. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, guys.